The California Science Center outside the Air and Space exhibit. And this is the space capsules project Apollo grew out of President John F. Kennedy's famous speech calling for the United States to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the 1960s. Apollo command modules carried 3 astronauts from the Earth to lunar orbit. Once in lunar orbit, 2 astronauts transferred to a lunar module not displayed here that separated from the command module and carried them to the lunar surface. On return from the lunar surface, the lunar module docked with the command module. Then the 2 astronauts re-entered the command module for the trip back to Earth. The Apollo command module on display here was originally built to go to the moon as Apollo 18 when Congress cut funding for the Apollo program. Its mission was changed to the Apollo Soyuz test project. This is the original Gemini 11 space capsule flown by astronauts Charles P. Conrad Jr. and Richard Dick Gordon Jr., which went into space on September 12, 1966 and returned September 15, 1966. We've removed one of the doors so you can see inside, and we encased the capsule in plastic for protection. As you can see from the capsule, the astronauts didn't have much room to move. To stand, they had to suit up and open the hatch first. The 2 astronauts lived together inside this capsule for almost 3 days, eating 3 freeze-dried meals a day, getting rid of waste with hoses and bags, and sleeping weightless in the jet 10 people all around the Earth. The Gemini space capsule is built to fly. Look for the round holes that circle the nose of this capsule. Those holes held thrusters. With these and other thrusters, Gemini astronauts could literally fly circles around a target. Gemini 11 landed on autopilot only to test the landing system. What was Project Gemini? Project Gemini sharpened the skills needed for the Apollo program with precision. Flying astronauts could reverse, dock, and maneuver in orbit. Longer flights and targeted re-entries also helped us for the moon flights. This is the Apollo Command Module spacesuit. Apollo Command Module pilot Thomas K. Mattingly wore this spacesuit during the Apollo 16 lunar mission. Its design protected the astronaut from the high-energy radiation of the sun, extreme changes in temperature, and micrometeoroids. The spacesuit has 21 layers and weighs 185 pounds on Earth. The astronaut's life support system is contained within the backpack, which provided enough oxygen for 8 hours. The spacesuit's one-piece liquid cooling and ventilation undergarment contains about 300 feet of plastic tubing. All functions of the suit are monitored and controlled from a control board mounted on the chest pack. The spacesuit is displayed with the helmet removed in order to provide adequate air circulation to help preserve the suit. These are the helmet and gloves that go with the Mercury suit. I'm going into the Air and Space exhibit. This is the Chandra Space Telescope. Chandra orbits Earth to look at high-energy X-ray light from stars and galaxies, light that can't go through our atmosphere. Chandra is as long as a big trailer. Our model is 1/5 scale. Chandra's overall orbit goes more than a third of the way to the moon. Chandra is one of NASA's 4 great space observatories, one each to look at the sky in X-ray, gamma, infrared, and visible light. X-rays don't reflect off a mirror the way normal light does, so mirrors used in the X-ray telescope need an unusual shape. Chandra's moon mirrors look a bit like glass barrels. And coming to X-rays, glance off the insides of the barrels and focus to a point. This is the Hubble Space Telescope. This model of the Hubble Space Telescope is 1/5 scale. The real one orbiting Earth now is the size of a school bus. Data from Hubble has helped astronomers measure the age of the universe and peek into the gas clouds where young stars and planets are born. Why put a telescope into space? Because an orbiting telescope rises above Earth's atmosphere. In the atmosphere, light gets bounced around. That can blur images taken by telescopes on the ground. Hubble can get sharp, detailed pictures of distant stars and galaxies, free of twinkling we see on Earth. At the Endeavour, California Science Center.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The runway, space shuttle tires took a lot of pressure from orbit to landing. The shuttle tires weather temperature changes of up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit and a drop in altitude of over 200 miles in less than an hour. Altitude and temperature changes in air pressure, which could have caused tires to be reversed if they weren't designed to meet the challenge. Like tires on most aircraft, space shuttle tires were filled with nitrogen. Nitrogen works better during altitude and temperature changes than air, which is made of 21% oxygen. Nitrogen also resists fire since the molecules are bigger than oxygen. Nitrogen leaks out from tires more slowly, which is a big plus in a vacuum of space. Electricity on the space shuttle orbiters came from fuel cell power plants. The orbiters' fuel cells generate electricity from chemical reactions using hydrogen and oxygen instead of the pollutants left behind from burning gasoline or other fuels. The only leftovers after the chemical reactions were water and heat, both of which came in handy on the shuttle for other uses. This fuel cell power plant used on Endeavour produced several kilowatts maximum continuous power, that's enough to power 115-60-watt light bulbs at a time. Each orbit had 3 fuel cell power plants on board for every mission, but 2 would have generated enough energy for the orbiter alone. The third made sure that enough electricity was produced to power payloads too. Recycling leftovers. One of the leftover products from the chemical reactions in the fuel cells, water, was as helpful to the astronauts as the electricity. The water produced when the hydrogen and oxygen combined could be used for the crew to drink or to rehydrate food in the gallery. The orbiters could also leave extra water from the fuel cells to supply the International Space Station, which was much less expensive than transporting water from Earth. 1st, 1987, final assembly officially began Orbiter Vehicle 105, later known as Endeavour, the nation's fifth space-worthy shuttle and the newest of the fleet, as with all orbiters, parts of OV-105 were constructed all over the country, but many of its components, such as the crew compartment and fuselage, were manufactured here in California. Pieces came together in Palmdale, California, where workers at Rockwell International assembled to start
passes through the area of maximum volume pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere. Standing by for separation of the solid rocket boosters. The onboard guidance system has done its job of settling in the dispersions introduced at first booster separation. The orbiter is now traveling 3,200 miles per hour, downrange 50 miles, altitude 37 miles, all systems in good shape. Pretty good hydraulic systems, auxiliary power units, and so self-providing.
We're in the space shuttle Endeavour building.
Shuttle Endeavour.
Space shuttle Endeavour. Spaceflight in the United States. First came Project Mercury, which tested humans' ability to survive in orbit space. Project Gemini developed the perfect scientific suit between the space shuttle, the world's first usable space vehicle, took space travel in a new direction. It helped humans keep their presence in space for 30 years and brought others into orbit. We wanted the astronauts not to be many were the shuttle carried scientists, engineers, doctors, and educators. Men and women of many nations, colors, and creeds flew the orbit, making history and encouraging international cooperation. The shuttle belongs to all of program included 6 orbiters, 5 that flew in space and 1 that Challenger discovered in Atlantis. Endeavour, the newest of openness and known as the hero of the fleet, was built as a replacement for Challenger, which was destroyed shortly after the launch in January 1986. Endeavour first launched on May 7, 1992, and flew a total of 25 missions. decided without putting on spacesuits. When some of the ship's two modules were thrown together to make a space logistics double module providing more workers to the immense store. Space and modules flew on the shuttle 18 times. The first space mission takes off and Endeavour. How many missions after stop space have been prepared to deliver to near or the International Space Station. Space has also carried experiments with International Space Agency, University of Corporation, and Kingdom experiments materials for the whole contact.
Nee, das ganze Ding ist ja irgendwie so wie die anderen so Experimente gemacht, aber ich glaube, weißt du, worum es geht? Das ist einfach nur ein Space sein.
Can I go back?